What happens after Donald Trump wins? What's next for America? The economy booms. American energy is unleashed and an end to crushing taxes. The border is closed and the largest deportation in history is underway. No more wars as we focus on home. Law and order is restored. The American dream is back, and the best is yet to come. Make America great again.
Donald Trump posted and then deleted that campaign ad that intentionally equated him to Hitler. They just didn't think enough people would recognize that it features a headline in those newspaper images that says, "Industrial strength and production had significantly increased after 1871, driven by the creation of a unified Reich." The BBC pointed out that Germany was unified in that year as a Reich, or empire, more than half a century before the Nazi Party rose to power and declared the Third Reich under Adolf Hitler. But they weren't done with the not-so-hidden messages there, because in a later image of the video, headlines included "Border is closed" and 15 million illegal aliens deported, alongside a picture of a portion of the wall on the U.S. southern border, and incongruously, the dates of World War I. When given the chance to go ahead and admit that they hope to allow Donald Trump to fulfill his lifelong dream of being America's Adolf Hitler, Trump's spokesperson cowardly claimed that the post wasn't a campaign video, but was instead created by a random account online and reposted by a staffer who didn't see the word, while the president was stuck in court where he thinks he doesn't have to be because he wants to be a dictator. You see, nobody's surprised, because he's been practicing his favorite Hitler lines for years and doubling down on them when asked about it.
We got a lot of work to do. They're poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. They poison.
Why do you use words like vermin and poisoning of the blood? The press, as you know, immediately reacts to that by saying, well, that's the kind of language that Hitler and Mussolini used.
Well, that's what they say. I didn't know that, but that's what they say. Because our country is being poisoned. Look, we have, and we can be nice about it. We can talk about, oh, I want to be politically correct.
In other words, I said what I said. And if you have a problem with it, take it up with the Unified Reich. But for real, politicians get compared to Adolf Hitler from time to time, but this might be the first time a former U.S. president that wants to get back into the White House is comparing himself to Adolf Hitler in hopes of it being a winning message. Well, it definitely speaks to his base.
Founding fathers restricted voting rights for vast majorities of people, including women. The women didn't receive the right to vote until the 19th Amendment.
And then we fixed that.
I don't think that was a good thing.
You don't think so?
I don't think it was a good thing. I believe
the 19th Amendment?
Yeah. Every person, women, men, black, white, whatever, has equal dignity under the law and before God. That doesn't mean they'll have the same roles and should have the same influence in a society.
So who should have influence in our society?
Christian leaders.
White Christian men. Interesting.
White Christian men.
I want to ask you, what issues are at the top of your mind heading into this election?
Immigration, 100%.
And what do you want to see Donald Trump do on day one to remedy the immigration problem?
I want him to become a day one dictator and kick all the illegals out.
Interesting. And why? What do you want to see him? Why do you want to see him do that?
Well, because these people who are coming here are not assimilating to our traditional American Anglo culture, and they are frankly ruining it. They're poisoning the blood of the country. I'm quoting Donald Trump.
He's just quoting Donald Trump's words and his beliefs. You know, if Trump was unhappy about being called a Nazi and a fascist, he'd be incensed by seeing someone that openly supports him based on the belief systems of white supremacists. But instead, MAGA politicians claim the accusations are coming from their political opponents so they can continue to preach it to junior fascists like that guy and have it ignored by passive fascists like this guy.
When President Trump says immigrants are poisoning the blood of our country, is that a statement you agree with?
That's not language I would use, but I understand the urgency of President Trump's admonition. He's been saying this since he ran for president the first time, that we have to secure the border. And I think the vast majority of the American people understand the necessity of that, and I think they agree with his position.
But that statement goes beyond what you are personally comfortable with.
It's not language I would use, but I understand.
Because it sounds hateful.
Well, it's not hateful.